Behind the luxurious lifestyles of the Upper East Side and the glam-driven Gossip Girl's Queen S and Queen B is one man who has been leading global fashion trends as the world's foremost stylist. He's Eric Daman, and he's been working for films like The Door on the Floor and Tenderness in the Fun and Size, along with a number of other movies and TV series.
Whatever. For once.
Now he's in Shanghai for the first time, releasing 6 new styles for the upcoming season.
I see some very elevated New York looks that are kind of based on, say, the perfect lady look, which is a bit of a Blair Waldorf, and you'll see a blush look, which is a bit of a Serena look, but then you'll also see like a neon rocker, which is very urban and gritty and a bit more like Lady Gaga or Nicki Minaj influence. So you see a very wide variety of different kind of New York look.
I saw the term blushing glow. I was thinking about the cosmetic neutral trends that we were seeing so much for 2013. I really wanted to have the clothing have that feel, but also that lingerie trend also that Elizabeth was speaking to earlier. Kind of have both things and have these cosmetic mineral colors, but to have like a very shiny, embellished, almost slip tops and lingerie inspired clothing as well. And from there I wanted to give her a bit of an eclectic, almost boho chic experience, maybe a little bit Serena van der Woodsen, maybe a little bit Kate Moss and Coachella. Here, Perfect Lady, I can't help but think Blair Waldorf, because she's the perfect lady for me. And here for the fashion of it, I wanted to play around with all the colors and mixing and matching with the bright tones that we're seeing a lot of the runways. And I think it came together very nicely. And then also grounding that with a bit of the blacks. Elizabeth was talking about earlier, we're seeing these bright colors that are grounded with black tones. That is unusual to see for spring, so I love the Valentino-inspired black bag with the black bow blouse, and just kind of this contrast we are seeing on the runways as well.
With a pretty detailed description from Eric, maybe we can try our own Gossip Girl look here in the city. This time, supermodel Jessie takes us to a fancy shop to see how you can dress up to become an it girl. Gossip Girls have influenced world fashion trends. The costumes Serena and Blair wear become models for young girls all over the world. But how did Eric make it happen?
The styling I make, first of all, it comes from the script and who the characters are, and really kind of trying to develop the character through the clothing. But it's really New York City. Like, living in New York City is just a creative mecca, and it's just so influential. Everywhere you look, there's different architecture and different kinds of people, and people dress, really kind of a bit more elevated than other places in the world. I was on the streets and I was watching all these different people, and I was trying to combine this American style. New Yorkers really have a sense of dressing up and being dressed up and creating their own personal style. I think that's really the key for me, is kind of having this individuality with your style and not just following trends or not just following labels, and being able to mix it up and do this high and low combination.
As a global fashion leader, what does Eric think of the fashion trends for the upcoming season?
Surprise scheme up their sleeve. You want to grab a burger?
I think we're going to see a lot of the 60s trend come back. There's a lot of the 60s kind of mod on the runways in Europe. There are a lot of bright colors, kind of geometric shapes, kind of that very 60s look. Like that new Prada campaign has that perfect 60s look with the little hat, but also is very contemporary because the hair is kind of dyed half orange and looks very modern, but has the 60s pop feel. So I think that's really going to be a new movement that we're going to be seeing. Key elements is kind of trying to find your own voice and trying to start out slow. I think really saying like, oh, maybe I do want to wear neon nail polish, or I think starting out slow and maybe like, oh, I'll get a statement necklace, or I think it's trying to find something that means something to you, that could be an individual piece or a one-of-a-kind thing, or maybe you decide, oh, I see an editorial and she's wearing blue eyeshadow, maybe I should try blue eyeshadow. So I think it's really up to the person to kind of find their voice in that.
As Eric said, the fashion trend of next season will be retro. So as my personal choice, I would choose this dress with the dramatic pattern, the small feathers, and the green and blue contrast color. So to end this retro outlook, I will choose a small classic hat from 1960s.
I had arrived at the beginning of my Manhattan love story.
Why'd you do that?
Aren't you trying to steal my purse?
With Gossip Girls coming to an end, Eric is working on his latest show, The Carrie Diaries. And needless to say, the fashion world awaits a whole new set of styles. You definitely want to stay tuned to City Beat for all the updates.
It's almost midnight.
It's almost midnight.